What would you like, sir?
What's new around here, innkeeper?
There's trouble with demons in Old Cudner. There was a great tragedy one time in the mine near there. It's abandoned now. The ground collapsed, and a pit to hell opened up there. There's talk that young Bruttons form a fight club in Horsham. Maybe they'll let you into their circle. And then Smolka came by. She's the one who runs the bathhouse across the street. She said a fella came in, all restless and fidgety, saying he wanted a girl. That he wanted to take her somewhere else, and Smolka wouldn't have it. But when he offered to pay double, she agreed. You know how it is. These days, every groschen counts.
Was he a fucking pig?
If only that.
So what did he do?
The girl came running in all beaten up. Smolka couldn't get her to talk about what happened, but it wasn't pretty. I went to see her. The girl was all blue with bruises, her knees blooded. Not a pretty sight.
Who was this fella?
The way Smolka described him to me, he must have come with Sigismund's army. Probably a deserter. I've seen a few of those around here.
Have you any idea where I could find him?
Rumour has it he's been sleeping in a shepherd's abandoned dugout, just outside the forest nearby.
I'll take care of him.
I'm glad to hear it. And don't spare him. A lot of scum is coming here, but enough is enough. When you're done with him, go to see Smolka at the bathhouse. She'll be glad to have one less thing to worry about. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
Don't whistle here. Nobody wants to hear it.
Gah! Quick! Gah! Go! Go! Gah! Whoa! Whoa!
Master, hey, doggy? Greetings to you.
Treadlight told me what happened here the other day.
Don't remind me of that. I've never seen a girl so badly beaten in my life. She's very lucky she survived. A plague on him.
Don't worry. He got what he deserved. Me, not the plague, I mean.
So, he's gone?
Aye. Your girls can rest easy now.
Really? Me and my girls are eternally grateful.
Don't even mention it.
But I will. And we know how to be grateful. From now on, you will get a nice discount.
heard you hold fights here, and I'd like to know more.
What would you like to know?
What fighters do you have here?
Stanley is the strongest. He works on the farm and's quite a big mouth on him, but he has the strength of 2 men. After him, Tuma, a farmer from across the way. He's quite a bit older than me, but don't let that fool you. He has a steady hand and bloody good aim with it. And last and maybe least is Darling.
Can I get involved too?
Why not? It'll be good to have some new blood, and maybe you'll learn something from each other. Do you have any experience?
Well, I haven't won any tournaments here yet, but I've knocked a few people around.
Well, you'll see if that'll be enough. Oh well.
Go! Whoa!
Someone's been pampering this horse.
So, Tobias, do you enjoy fighting?
Do I know you?
I'm Henry. Young Bruthans told me you're learning to fight. How are you faring?
Well, it's not going so well.
You don't have to do it, you know. What do you get out of being beaten time and again?
I have to. I have to beat Stanley, so they'll leave me alone.
What does he do to you?
All kinds of things. He says I'm an idiot. Sometimes he comes to Grund and causes trouble, scaring the horses, and he beat up my dog. Better limp for days, and now he's afraid of strangers.
You can defend yourself, but how can a pooch know he has to? Did he bite him at least?
Better? No, he's too nice to ever bite anyone. He runs away instead. But Stanley drove him into the corner of the stable.
People like that make me see red. Well, how about trying your luck against me?
Why not? Do you have any money? We can bet, and whoever wins gets everything.
That sounds good. I agree.
Get ready then. Well, I lost again.
Thanks for the fight.
Yeah. Oh, and this is yours. Take it all. Now you can challenge Tuma. I like him. He's funny and kind. Not like Stanley.
Oi! Ooh, excuse me.
Shall we fight?
But of course. And before we get started, let's bet.
If you say so. Here you go.
Thanks very much. And now fight. God be with you, my friend. Gosh, I feel like I've been split in half.
Thanks for the fight.
Aye, you're welcome. I should be thanking the big man on the sky that I can still walk. Here, take it all and don't spend it at once.
Thanks.
The cattle and gathering the hay.
Aye. When I'm old and infirm.
You're doing all right so far, but you're not going to beat me.
Why are you always picking on Tobias?
Just take a look at him. If he was any dumber, he'd be eating out of a trough with the pigs. Do you know he talks to animals? He talks to his mutts like they understand him. He'd be better off barking and pissing on the fence like them. But when we manage to get him drunk, now that's fun.
Tobias goes drinking with you?
No, but all you have to do is give him wine and tell him it's apple cider. A little of that and he's completely wasted. Then you should see the shit he gets up to. The last time that idiot almost drowned because he went to fish the moon out of the pond. We told him it was a silver platter.
I'll find something better to do. and leave Tobias alone.
Mind your own business. I reckon that moron doesn't even know when someone's yanking his pizzle. Lord knows if there's anything left in that hollow of his.
Do you want to fight?
Sure, I could go for one. Do you have money to bet?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Get ready and we can get started.
Wipe the floor with it! Give it all you got! Give it all you got!
You bloody who? What's the matter? Does it hurt? You have two left hands. Sacre! I reckon I cut off more than I could chew. You really know how to fight.
Thanks for the fight.
Here's your bet, and a little on top. I don't like giving it up, but I keep my word. And don't forget to go and see Tomlin. His jaw's gonna drop when he hears some out of town and kicked all our asses.
I beat all your men.
Well, I'm jiggered. But I'm impressed. You're good. Here you go. We know how to appreciate a good fighter here. Not long ago, I heard the hired hands in Miskovitz spend the long hours away by fighting. You can go see for yourself if it's true.
That sounds quite good.
And in Kuttenberg, they fight in a tavern called the Hole in the Wall. The name suits it perfectly. So don't expect to be treated kindly.
That sounds worse. But I'll see. Maybe I'll go there and take a look sometime.
Oh, by the way, Darling was looking for you. Go and see him. He'll be glad. Take care, friend.
Emery, I want to ask something of you.
I'll be right there. Do you need something of me?
Well, I wanted to ask you for something.
Pray tell. What's it about?
You wouldn't want to have another bout, would you?
Right now?
Well, yeah.
Why? I already beat you. And Tuma and Stanley, too.
Exactly. So I figured that if I beat you now, you'll still win overall. But if Stanley saw me beat someone that kicked his ass, maybe he'd leave me alone.
And do you think you'd stand a chance to beat me?
Well, that's just it. I'd need you to help me a little.
Look, wouldn't you rather learn how to fight properly? I'll be happy to train you.
I don't know if it's a good idea. Auntie says I'm a little slow.
Oh, you'll manage. Knocking someone's teeth out is actually pretty simple. And you've got the strength of 3 men. So there's nothing for you to be afraid of.
Well, all right. Oof, I can't anymore.
Me neither. Let's take a break.
Do you think I stand a chance against Stanley now?
Definitely a better chance than if you pretended to beat me, but still knew nothing. I'm not saying you'll beat him to a pulp now, but at least you should be able to hit back.
Thanks, Emery. You're a true friend.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you like horses or dogs?
Of course I do.
Me too. I knew right away you like animals. I can tell. Come see me in Grund sometime. I'll take care of the horses and hands, and I'll tell you all about them.
You said you could teach me something. Like what?
Well, I don't know much, but I do understand animals. That's for sure.
You take care of dogs and horses here, right?
Aye, they're my favourite. They're kind. They don't hurt you or curse you when you mess something up. And when you're sad, they look at you with those big eyes of theirs. They don't even need to say anything. Yet you feel better right away.
You see? I'm sure you know a few tricks.
Can I have a few groschen for my trouble?
Of course. Tit for tat.
Thanks. So, what do you want to know?
Well, how do you know when your horse is hurt? Or when he doesn't like something?
That's easy. If you let him, he'll tell you everything himself. Just not with words. If you've got the time, I'll teach you. Horse must have cost a pretty groschen.
Careful! I'd like to learn a few more tricks from you.
Can I have a few groschen for my trouble?
Of course. Tit for tat.
Thanks. So, what do you want to know?
And what if my dog doesn't listen to me? It's like he always forgets what I taught him.
They do that when they think they can get away with it. But my aunt always says, a dog is like his master. If you've got the time, I'll teach you.
Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
You could stick your reason up your ass. I told you something like this would happen. We never should have stopped bringing the offerings.
Your offerings are a blasphemy before God, and this is his punishment. I won't...
What's going on here?
As you can see, something slaughtered all these cows.
Not just something. It was that creature from hell. I saw with my own eyes how it fled back to its hole in the mine.
Give it a rest, would you?
I won't. What'll happen when that monster comes for us next?
Seems we've been fortunate running into you then, eh?
I'm Henry of Scallis.
I'm Marion, the local priest. You look like someone who knows how to fight and isn't scared off all that easily. Just the kind of man for the job.
How can I help you?
The massacre of those cattle is a horrible thing. But the heresy that's been tolerated here on account of the former priest is even worse.
Old Father Richard would chase you out of town, you stuffed frock.
Marion may be young, but he's still a priest, and he deserves a bit of respect.
Thank you, Henry. Since you're the only one here uninvolved, I'd like you to go into the old mine and discover the truth of this old wives' tale.
And while you're there, take some peace offering with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dare going.
What am I to do with you? All right. Henry, take their offering with you as well. You'll do just as those wretches did before you, and then wait to see if any demons show their faces or not.
Wait for demons? You want to send the poor fella to his death?
Don't listen to him, Henry. Faith in God will protect you, but before you go through the mine, we'll have a look around the village. Then we'll all meet at the entrance to the mine.
All right, I'll help you. But what about the offering?
A bit of food will do. Here you go. We always lowered the food down in a bucket. The main thing is not to go down the shaft yourself, lest you anger hell.
Don't be frightened. It's just an old shaft.
You'll find it to the west of here. The whole area is deserted and most of the entrances are blocked off. You go past the mine buildings until you reach the one that's collapsed to the ground. The mine entrance is next to it. Good luck, lad. You're going to need it.
God be with you.
I'm sorry!
Stop that whistling.
Go! Quick! quick! It really does smell like hell here. Might there be some truth to the stories? Oh, Jesus. What a diabolical stink. Ugh. All right then. Let's see if we can't lure the devil out. Where am I? And where did all my things go? Jesus, what the fuck is going on here?
Anything to steal! Glory upon me!
Fuck, I don't want to die down here. What's this? Did the knight write this?
terribilis Deus de sanctuario suo.
More entries. Also written by the Knight? Looks like some kind of contract. It must be important if he locked it away. The pit to hell, and that knight is guarding it. Taras Mura. What in God's name happened here? The knight's been guarding this place against demons. It's written here that someone is supposed to come and take his place. But who?
Who goes there? I am the shield of God's demon. I am Taras. Vade Satana, Inventor et Magister omnes fallatiae, hostes humanae salutis.
So many corpses. This is where the mining accident must have happened. And that stink! Could there really be a gateway to hell here? Even more entries. Ah, everything's here. All right. My God. How long has he been here? More journal entries. Christ. He went completely mad.
So you live, demon. Not much longer.
Stop, Taras! I'm here to take your place, under the terms of your contract with Father Richard. I'm your replacement.
What?
You're here to relieve me. You've come to battle hell in my place.
Yes. My name is Henry of Skalitz, and And I've come to take your burden upon myself. Exactly as it's written in the contract. Let's formalize our agreement outside, under the open heavens. Under the eye of God.
Oh, you're right. We'll handle everything under his gaze. Let's go out.
You first, Henry of Skalitz. Up the ladder. Until the oath is made, I can't leave you down here alone with the pit of hell.
All right. Let's not get hasty now. I can explain everything.
Lord have mercy.
What's going on here?
That's it! That's the beast!
Henry, who is that?
Don't speak to him! He's in league with that demon!
No! You've got it all wrong. I went into the mine as we agreed, and it's there that I ran into Sir Taras here. Sir Taras signed a contract with Father Richard. He was meant to guard the gateway to hell and receive regular supplies from the locals in return. He had me confused with a demon. But we managed to clear everything up in the end. I've got the contract here. See for yourself.
A contract? Well, I was sure all of this was mere heathen idolatry.
Father Richard never said nothing about a contract to no one. All he said was to provide food to keep the pit of hell quiet.
Maybe Father Richard feared you wouldn't listen otherwise. None of this, however, rights the wrongs committed by Sir Taras. Or are you looking to pardon him for slaying the cattle?
I have no need for pardons from you. I've spent years in the dark protecting you, ingrates. Meanwhile, you lot broke the promise and forgot about me. You'll pay for that!
Everyone calm down. The only crime committed here is ignorance. Apart from Father Richard and Sir Taras, no one knew of the contract. And when Father Richard died, Sir Taras was left on his own with his oath. He was kept alive by nothing but superstition and the offerings you brought to pacify hell. And when the offerings stopped, Sir Taras thought you betrayed him. And so he sought his revenge.
I had no idea.
Like I said, only ignorance is to blame. But now everything has been explained. So there's no reason to seek revenge or continue your investigation.
I won't settle for that. Fall to your knees and beg for forgiveness. I want to hear it with my own ears. You owe me that much for all the years I spent down there.
An apology after you slaughtered our cattle.
Quiet, Vladimir. Sir Taras is right. He deserves our apology. Sir Taras, on behalf of the entire village, we ask for your forgiveness and thank you for the sacrifice you made for us. Your services are no longer needed. I'll have the mine filled in, and you'll receive all that you require. A horse, food, and supplies for the road.
So, I'm finally free. I fulfilled my oath and cleansed my soul before the eyes of God.
It's true, Sir Taras. Your sins have been washed away by your service.
Oh, thank you.
And as for you, Henry, you did even more than I asked. You've earned your reward 10 times over. Take this and go with our thanks.
And my thanks too, lad.
My pleasure, friends. I don't think anyone's ever going to believe this story.
Hey!
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Resting. I've been lugging these sacks for ages now, so I decided to take a load off. But I can tell you, it ain't too comfortable here.
I was afraid you were dead. Whenever I see someone lying by the road, it usually ends up being trouble.
Don't worry, I'm fine. You never just lay down under a tree.
Ah, of course I have. But to tell you the truth, it's not always the safest option. This one time, I laid down in a meadow, and some bastards stole my boots.
That's what you get for sleeping like a log, lad. You make it easy for the thieves. I'm a light sleeper. Ain't nobody taking my old boots.
Look, you know you have something sticking out of your forehead, right? It looks a bit like a horn.
A horn? Nobody's called it that yet.
What is it, then?
It's an arrow. Well, what's left of it, that is. A metal arrowhead and a bit of a wooden shaft. It used to be longer, but I broke it off after I nearly took a wench's eye out with it.
What? An arrow? Like, from a bow?
Aye, an arrow. With an arrowhead, a shaft, and a fletching. Simply an arrow.
You have an arrow stuck in your head? Shouldn't you be, well, dead? I've never seen anyone with an arrow in his head who wasn't.
Of course I should be. Dead as a doornail. If it was an ordinary arrow, I'd be pushing up daisies. But it ain't no ordinary arrow.
Oh? What's special about it?
Always questions all of a sudden. How about you tell me who you are first? Talking to strangers ain't the safest these days.
I'm Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Skalitz.
Oh, fuck. I heard about Skalitz. I heard it was real bad.
That it was.
Well, at least you got out in one piece. Look, the name's Carl. Folk call me Carl Arrowhead. On account of, well, you know.
How come the arrow didn't kill you then?
Because it ain't no ordinary arrow.
You said that already.
Thing is, it's a magic arrow.
Yeah, right.
You don't believe me, do you? Sometimes I get mixed up in, let's say, some confrontation. And sometimes things get a bit dicey. I was always getting beaten up, wounded, battered. But ever since I had this arrow in my noggin, not a damn thing. No wounds, no bruises. Nobody can hurt me. They haven't a chance.
Well, that could very well be a coincidence. You're just lucky.
It ain't no coincidence. It's a gift from God. This arrow here blessed me.
Do you think it could be taken out? Can I touch it?
If you touch it, I'll rip off both your arms, shove them up your arse, and make you clap.
Easy! Easy now! I was just asking. No need to get upset. You're worried I'd get the magic too, eh?
No. I'm worried that you wouldn't march and step, and I wouldn't like that.
I understand. You're simply undefeatable.
Exactly, lad. A whole year without a scratch. A whole year. And me and my lads got ourselves into some dodgy situations, I'll tell you that. But enough chat. I've got to get back to the camp. I've got a proposition for you. You lug one of them sacks here for me, and we can talk some more along the way. What do you say?
Well, I can't let you lug them all on your own.
Glad to hear it. Ugh. Them sacks are heavy as fuck, but I couldn't just leave them behind. A man can be invincible, and blessed by God, but 2 sacks of charcoal is still 2 sacks of charcoal.
You're probably not a monk, are you? What are you then? A bandit?
Ha! A bandit? It don't sound too good when you say it out loud. Bandit. Do you know who the real bandits are, in my opinion?
I don't.
Them lords what hold their protective hand over us. They stuff themselves to bursting, hunt in the forests, start wars, and the ordinary folk has to do all the work for them. And when you get in their way, they string you up or beat you like a dog. Not even the worst bandit behaves like that. That's what people should be whipped for in the stocks, not for hunting a deer in some noble's forest, or picking something up here and there. We're just trying to survive is all.
You said we. Are there more of you somewhere?
Of course there is. And with what's been going on, there's more and more of us. Towns get raided all the time, and folk have nowhere to go. So they head into the forests and become bandits, as you call them.
I meant nothing by it.
Right. I used to live an ordinary life myself, before it all got to me. First my wife got a fever, so I paid the sobos to help her, and nothing. He took the money, but it didn't help, so my dearest died. Then the soldiers came. I don't know if they were ours or someone else's, but they took everything. And whatever they didn't take, they torched. I had nothing left, so now we live in the forest, like animals. We don't have no other option.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, I've lost a lot too.
Of course, we all have. Some more than others. But we've all lost something.
This sack really is heavy. How much further is it?
We're getting close. Hang in there.
Take me on a couple of jobs. He's got some easy work lined up. Job? Sure he does. He's trying to get you in trouble. In the end, he'll fuck you over like everyone else. The fucker. That's just what he said you'd say. What?
I dropped that sack over there, but... Look here. Don't you mind just leading me right into your camp? What if I let slip that you lot are here?
Why would you do that? You wouldn't get any reward for this band of nobodies anyway.
I suppose not.
Thanks for the help, lad. I'm glad you happened by and stopped to talk to me. Not everyone is willing to help. It's a rare sight these days.
I'm glad to be of help.
Here's some ale money. And I wish you good luck in these wild times. May God's favor be with you. But now, you should get going. The fellas get nervous when there's strangers around. The Lord be with you.
Why is this all sticky?
doggy. Good boy.
I could use a few groschen. Do you know of any work around here?
What? Don't bother me. I got other things on my mind right now. Wait a mo. I know you. We've met before.
Well, it's possible. I've met a lot of people.
I know. You helped our Carol out, remember? You carried some sacks together to our camp.
Oh, yeah. You're with that fellow with the arrow in his head, right?
Exactly.
Ah, how could I forget? It's not every day you meet a fellow with a wooden shaft sticking out of his head.
So we'll have to have a drink to his memory together.
Well, something happened to him.
Aye. Our dear Carol passed away.
Oh? What happened?
Well, everything went to shit. Everything that could have gone wrong, went wrong. We wanted to rob a convoy. A bit of gold, a lot of booze, and 3 guards at most. Only there were a lot more of them fuckers.
Shit.
It was a bloodbath. I don't even know how we managed to escape. But Carol got left behind. They picked him up and took him away. It's all fucked.
Well, if they picked him up, he doesn't have to be dead. Maybe he's locked up somewhere.
If only. But that's not what happened. They strung him up. There was nothing to be done. We fell right into their trap, like lambs to the slaughter.
Fuck. What are you gonna do now? Without a leader?
Well, I'm the leader now, but it doesn't matter. Because as soon as we show up anywhere, we're dead.
Are they looking for you?
There's a price on our heads. But more importantly, without the power of Carol's arrow, we're lost.
Maybe you'll be fine even without the arrow. Carol was a good man, but maybe the arrow wasn't magic. It could have all just been a coincidence.
You're dead wrong. Before the arrow, we were just a bunch of hopeless wretches, and Carol was the biggest one of all.
What? How come?
The fool couldn't fight. He was useless with a sword, and every skirmish left him with a wound. Once, he was running through the forest, and he got impaled on a tree branch! Would you believe it? Even a tree could beat the fella. But then the miracle hit him. Once, he told me that when he was out of it that time, he heard some saint speak to him. It completely changed him.
Ah, that's an interesting story. And what does it imply?
Look, you're looking for a job, and we need that arrow. How about you help us? I'll pay you handsomely.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I need someone to find Carol's body. And to get, well, to pull that arrow out of him.
Are you shitting me? You want me to yank it out of his skull?
Oh, I know, it sounds nasty. But Carol would agree to it. I'm sure he wouldn't want us to end up dead. He'd happily give us the arrow.
That's a job for someone with an iron stomach.
It's nothing too complicated. Find Carol's body and pull out the arrow. That's it. So then, will you help us?
This is just about the oddest thing anyone's ever asked me to do. And I've had some odd requests, but... all right, I'll help you. Where should I look for him?
Well, that's the problem. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, we're off to a great start.
Hold your horses. I've got a bit of a lead. Our whole plan with the caravan went to shit near Sedlets. They've got a cemetery there, and I heard there was a bit of a commotion about the last execution. The local gravedigger lives near the cemetery. I'm sure he'll know something. That's about all I know. We can't go round asking questions. That'd cost us our necks.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
If you manage to get the arrow, bring it here.
Well, this doesn't seem too bad.
Stop a while, my good man.
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
Quick! God! Go! Go! Slowly. Nice and slow. When is the last time you buried an executed man?
Why do you care?
I want to know where he's buried. To see his grave.
To see his grave? Really? It's damned odd that you want to see that grave in particular.
What's so odd about it?
Because the last executed man I buried was a fucking sorcerer.
What?
You heard me. A sorcerer. When they arrested him, he had an arrow stuck in his head. But he kept on living. It wasn't no fresh wound. It was old, healed. The thing stuck out of his head like a tree branch.
Damn it, friend. You're right. He was a sorcerer. I have to see his grave, or you'll all be in danger.
I knew it, the fucker.
If I don't stab him through the heart with a stake, he could rise from his grave.
With a stake? Fuck. We only cut his head off.
Then he could still come back. He has to be impaled with a blessed stake.
Christ. The grave is under the big willow next to the cemetery wall.
Thanks. I'll take care of it now. Quick! Whoa! That looks fresh. Oh, shit. It's him. Yeah. Phew. I've got it. I'm looking for Pasha. Have you seen him around here?
Oh, you must be that good Samaritan, helping us out with our little matter.
Maybe. And who are you?
They call me Heir. I've been waiting here for you. Pasha had to return to the camp. He's got duties to attend to. Leadership duties. See?
I get it.
So, do you have it? Did you find the arrow?
Of course. I'll keep my promises.
All right. Show it to me.
Well, why not? Here it is.
Sweet Mother Mary. I never thought I'd see it with my own eyes.
I'll be happy to give it to you, but not for free.
I know. Pasha promised you a reward, but I don't have any money for you. I was supposed to wait for you here and take you to the camp. Pasha will pay you there.
Well, that's a shame. I was thinking it was too easy. Well, let's go then, eh?
Hey, where did you find it? I mean, where's Karel buried?
In Sedlets. There's a big willow tree near the cemetery. He's buried beneath it. What, do you want to put flowers on his grave?
I'd like to, but there's no time. Pasha has big plans with the arrow, so I reckon we'll start robbing again soon. I'm worried what will come of it.
What are Pasha's plans?
Robbing? On a grand scale. Well, he's not like Karel. Pasha wants gold, booze, ores. Most of all, revenge. I'm afraid it'll end badly.
If he believes the arrow will protect him, he might try to do something too dangerous.
Aye. And he'll take us all with him. For a few groschen, or because of some fucking vengeance. One by one, we'll end up swinging. I don't know what to do. I don't want to go back there. Hey, listen, let's talk.
What's going on?
Hey, listen up. Pasha mustn't get the arrow. If you give it to him, well, you'll be killing us all. The man doesn't know when to stop. He'll drag us on raids we won't come back from.
What do you suggest?
Give me the arrow. I don't have any coin to pay you for it, but you'll be doing the right thing. You'll save a few good men from certain death.
You're the same bunch, aren't you? Why shouldn't Pasha have it?
Well, because if he gets his hands on it, he'll kill us all.
What kind of nonsense is that?
It's the truth. Pasha isn't like Karel. Karel was like an holy man. He preached like a priest. He kept talking about humility, about how we only need a little to live. He always said, an humble life can be a good life.
He sounds like a good man. A shame.
He was. Pasha, on the other hand, well, he's different. He keeps babbling about how we'll have mountains of gold just as soon as he gets his hands on the arrow, and how he'll take revenge on all those who did him wrong. Well, he's like a madman. I'm afraid he'll drag us into something that'll have us all swinging.
That's the risk of being a bandit, though. It can cost you your neck.
So it is. But I'm not going to hang just because Pasha wants his vengeance.
If I give it to you, what will you do with it?
I'll go somewhere far away and start my own gang. I don't need mountains of gold or revenge like Pasha. We'll be happy with a little and we'll have a good life. Like with Karel, and the arrow will help us.
I'll give you the arrow, but only if you promise me you'll stop robbing people and find honest work.
I could lie to you, but I'll be honest. I was born a thief. And I'd like to die as one too. A couldn't handle being cooped up in some workshop all day or shoveling shit on a farm. I want to start my own gang. And for that, I need the arrow.
In that case, I can't give it to you.
I was worried this would happen. Look at it this way. We're all alone. Here, nobody'll hear you scream. So, either you give me the arrow, or I'll take it from you.
What power will the arrow have if you kill the messenger carrying it?
What do you mean?
Will the arrow still be magic? Or will it become cursed?
Fuck. Well, I don't know.
But I do. These things are powerful, and not to be trifled with.
Oh, shit.
Leave the arrow to Pasha. Give him a chance to show he can be a good leader.
Well, give it to him if you must. But I won't be going back to the camp. When everything goes to shit, I won't be around to see it. Godspeed.
Quick! Go! Go! I found your Carol. He's buried in Sedlets.
Glory to the Lord. And the arrow? Do you have it?
I do. And I'll tell you, getting it was weird. Never done anything like it.
See? You felt it too? It's a powerful artifact, and its power will save us. Where's Hare? I left him to wait at the Devil's Den, so he'd lead you here.
He was at the Devil's Den when we left together. But along the way, he attacked me and tried to take the arrow.
That horse, son! I knew I couldn't trust him. He was always babbling about how the arrow will kill us. But I didn't expect him to betray us. I hope you took the fucker down.
I killed him. He didn't give me any other choice.
That fucking traitor! He got what he deserved. I'm glad you took him out. Otherwise, I'd have to find him and do it myself. But back to the task at hand. Give me the arrow.
Here it is.
That's the one. Incredible. I can feel the power. It really is the one. Lord, thank you for this gift. We'll do great things with it.
I'm glad you like it. Now, what about my reward?
Hold on, lad. We're not done yet. Back then, it was me that picked the arrow and shot it. First, it seemed like an accident. But it was the hand of God that guided me. Through this arrow, our Lord sent down incredible power to one of his flock. And now, it's my turn! Just like Carol before me, now I'll receive the blessing of our Heavenly Father.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Today, it will be you who blesses me with the arrow, friend, and we'll never go hungry again.
Wait, you want me to shoot you in the head?
Don't be afraid. No, it will endow me with great power. and then I'll lead my companions to abundance and plenty.
If it's really what you want, I'll shoot you.
Don't think of it as shooting. I want your arm to be guided by the arm of our Lord, who shall bless me this day. You shall be his servant.
All right, then.
Here's the crossbow. I'm ready. Fire! Glory to Pasha!
Arrow! Arrow! Arrow!
God bless us!
Glory to Pasha!
Hurry up and shoot already!
Fire! Glory!
The arrow killed him. We're done for.
Kurva! God, help!
Quick! Whoa!
Call that beast to heel!
You better call back that dog. Leave it.
Come here.
Shoot.
Sod off!
Stay.
Mutt didn't bury anything here.
That wasn't so hard now, was it?
Greetings. Do you need something?
What goes on in the forest, Huntsman?
There are poachers prowling in the woods, a band led by this ginger-headed muck of Marshowitz. They've been causing trouble for quite some time, but now they've really overdone it.
What happened?
They killed a rare white roebuck that lived in our woods. Killed and skinned it. Sir Peter of Pisek put a bounty on their heads. The bounty's yours if you help me track them down.
I must say, I've never seen a white roebuck before.
It's an exceedingly rare animal. It was beautiful. Its hide was white as snow. Sir Peter forbade hunting it, but I wouldn't have even if I could. Killing an animal like that is bad luck.
Do you know any more about these poachers?
They're led by some fella called Mark of Marshowitz, and they fancy themselves some kind of a brotherhood. From what I've heard, they showed up in the village below the castle a couple of times trying to sell venison. The guards always sent them packing. Our knacker, Wolfram, was the only one who talked to them.
That knacker, Wolfram, do you think he had anything to do with the dead roebuck and the poachers?
Oh, he has a dishonourable profession, true enough, and he sells hides and meat wherever he can. But having the gall to work with poachers? I don't think so. He's on thin enough ice as it is, being a knacker and all. If his lordship found out he had anything to do with it, he'd have him hanged. But he might know something about that band.
All right, huntsman. I'll try to track the poachers down. Maybe they haven't sold the hide yet, and I'll be able to find it.
Excellent. And if you mete out capital punishment on the spot, all the better. Every member of that band carries a squirrel tail on them. Probably a badge of their hunting prowess. Bring them to me as evidence.
Where should I look for these poachers?
Ah, that's the hard part. I'm sure they have a hideout in the woods around here, but you'll have to track them down yourself. If you don't know what to do, you can try to get something out of the knacker.
Thanks for the advice.
It was good to see you, my friend.
Go! Go!
Whoa!
Good day to you.
I heard you might know something about the band of poachers hiding out in the woods. A band led by some Mach of Marshevitz. Ginger-headed.
What? Who told you such a thing?
Dobrosh, the huntsman. He sent me to track them down and get rid of them.
I see. It's about the White Roebuck. I'm surprised somebody didn't shoot it long time ago. Such a hide would fetch a king's ransom.
Do you know where their hideout is?
Maybe. What's in it for me?
What do you mean, what's in it for you? You should think of your own good. If you help me with my search, it'll be clear you had nothing to do with the poaching. But if you don't, then the Lord of Piset could put a bounty on your head next.
Curva. I didn't think of that. All right. I'll tell you what I know. I heard they're brothers. And they're led by that Mach fella. But they didn't look like kin to me. They surely ain't no livers, though. They're pretty frightening looking. Maybe that's why Dobrosh would rather sit his arse in a castle instead of searching for them in the woods.
Do you know where they're hiding?
I ain't sure. But it's definitely somewhere in the valley near the water. In the direction of Rabush. That's where they always came from. And if I was a poacher, that's where I'd be hiding.
All right. That'll help my search.
Listen, lad. I know you said you were doing this for Dobrosh, but if you find that white hide at your camp and bring it to me, I'll pay you more than that pinched purse of a huntsman. I know some people, and I'd be able to sell that thing for, well, a lot.
Perhaps. I'll see if I have any luck finding it.
Sure. But if you do, bring it back to me. It was good to see you, my friend.
Quick! Quick! Ka! Da! Go! Ka! Quick!
Whoa, whoa.
Those must be the poachers I'm looking for. That's the hide. Now to bring it back to the huntsman, or to Wolfram.
Whoa, whoa.
Greetings, sir.
I found the white roebuck's hide.
Great work. I can find a dozen buyers for this thing. Mark my words. Provided we come to an agreement, that is.
All right. Pay up, and the hide is yours.
Here you go. And if anyone asks, we never met. See you later.
Quick!
My God.
Slowly. Nice and slow. Oh. I found the white hide.
Oh, thank God for that, at least. And what about the poachers? Did you take care of them too? Do you have their squirrel badges for me?
Aye. I've got some.
Well, that's even better news. The reward's yours. Thanks, friend. You did me a huge service.
Glad to help.
Farewell.
wanker!
Grüß Gott. Was brauchst du, mein Herr?
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Also gut. Was soll's? I can show you something. Damit wir uns verstehen. I don't like those Schwertmeister these days, who swagger around with a longsword. For me, a weapon is simply just a tool like any other. Wenn du wirklich Interesse hast, I'll show you one of my favorite blows with a mace to the chin. Was sagst du dazu?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
Das ist richtig. Ehrliche Arbeit mit der Waffe. This strike is about a few hard attacks, after which you quickly swing your axe and slice with it from below. It simply sends a man flying to heaven, and then sends him straight to hell. Und jetzt, try it out a few times, junger Mann.
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I'm interested in sword fighting.
I'll tell you some interesting things.
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
Blunt weapons are my favorite. Show me a few tricks.
All right then, but it'll take a while.
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
I'm still not very good with a halberd.
Fine, but it'll take some time.
Grüß Gott.
Greetings.
What makes a hole? A grave for the dead.
God be with you, brother. Are you taking care of this chapel?
Mortitius is my name, good friend. Though all that is shall one day end. Fame and fortune are but clay. Ad honore domine.
Ah. I see. I think.
Though my eyes are old and dim, and I live apart from the world of men, I serve a cause that's good and sound, and companions have I underground.
But slow down. I can't keep up. So, you are the blind keeper of the ossuary?
You speak the truth. And now I ask, if you would help me with one task, will you help me take care of those who sleep below in eternal repose?
You need my help with something?
Christian bones in the church lie scattered. Bringing order to them is a very grave matter. If the prior should see the disarray, he'll send me packing this very day. Then what shall I do, sightless and old? Left alone in this world dark and cold, roaming the earth with a beggar's cane? Help me, dear brother, in God's holy name.
Wait a moment. So, there are bones strewn about the chapel, and you want them tidied up?
Aye. 'Tis a job that some might find morbid, but fear not, good fellow. You'll be well rewarded.
All right, then. What am I supposed to do, exactly?
Arrange the bones in pyramids. Make them nicely stacked. Build one out of pristine skulls. The second out of cracked. The third then build from arms and legs. And here there's quite a lot. But bear in mind the commandment... thou shalt not... thou shalt... Curses! None of the commandments rhymes with that.
Lose thy virtue, thou shalt not?
A pretty rhyme, I must admit. Although you're jesting just a bit. Enough discourse now. It grows late. The task before you cannot wait.
All right, so if I understand correctly, I'm supposed to put the bones in 3 piles. Pristine skulls in the first one, the cracked ones in the second, and the third pile I build from the limbs?
As you say, so must it be. And you shall have a reward from me. To find the bones you'll be needing, though, there are 3 places you must go. But don't forget what lies beneath, and descend to the hidden space. Many bones lie there in darkness, waiting for their rightful place.
I see. So I should gather the bones in the chapel and the crypt underneath, and make 3 pyramids out of them.
And should any bones remain, such as ribs and spines, sweep them up together into orderly confines.
What? I should sweep up the remaining bones too? I better go before you think of more chores.
God be with you. Am I awake, or do I dream? Where does my spirit roam? Does it wander through this world, or rests with God at home?
Perfectly normal skull.
Does my being return to dust?
Staring.
In the gloom, alone,
empty
and lost,
sockets.
Or are dreams and deaths to main? In the end, one.
Damn, my back hurts so much. Might have find a new one here. Whew. Doing God's work sure ain't easy. What's this? It looks like some really old reliquary. What a rare find. Isn't it getting crowded in there? Dust you are, to dust you shall return. And then I'll sweep you into a corner.
Hey! Are you attacked, my dear brother?
I nearly broke every bone in my body.
Ha ha ha! There's no better place to leave your bones, and that's a fact. But they'll serve you much better inside you and intact. The place you're in is black as night. I'll throw you a torch. Let there be light. Look for bones along your way, after all. In the end, you'll have some benefit from your fall.
What's this? His corpse must have been lying here for several decades, and it looks like he died yesterday. God, our Heavenly Father, have mercy.
This looks like the crypt for the monks. Wonder how long they've been lying here.
Nice and slow.
Mass grave of the guests from the Kuttenberg feast I read about. Didn't the book say they buried them with all their valuables?
Easy. Nice and slow.
First pyramid is done. Impressive, even if I say so myself. Enter Marie.
If I hadn't built it myself, it'd give me a scare. Just one more.
Three beautiful piles. I'm proud of myself. The old monk will be delighted.
I feel quite hungry.
Where did that blind madman get to? He was sitting here the whole time, and now he's just vanished. I should ask if anyone saw him. I'm looking for the keeper of the local chapel. His name's Morticius, a wispy fellow. Speaks in verse. I did some work for him, but he disappeared just as he was about to pay me.
Youngster, you ought to sleep more and drink less. Otherwise, you'll come to a bad end.
What do you mean by that?
Morticius was the keeper of the ossuary, all right. Only he died before you was even born.
What? Morticius is dead?
As sure as there's a God in heaven.
But I spoke to him. He wouldn't stop babbling in verse.
For Christ's sake, old Morticius couldn't even read, let alone compose verses. Are you sure you weren't imagining it?
Very sure. I have to find him. He owes me for the work I did.
Go back to the ossuary, then. You'll find him lying in the crypt alongside the other dead monks. Wait, what did this fellow want from you, anyway?
I had to tidy up all the bones in the chapel and arrange them into pyramids.
What? You fooled around in my chapel? May the Lord protect you if you've done any ungodly business in there. Come now, show me. What in God's name? You did all this by yourself?
Well, yes.
Well, friend, you're quite the worker. What a mess this place was. I'll keep it like this. People from all over the land will come here just to see this.
Well, that's nice and all. But I don't suppose you'll pay me for it, will you?
You suppose correctly. A job well done should be a reward enough for you.
Whoa!
Lord be with you.
How's it going here in Grund? Anything new?
Kona, the blacksmith's wife, came by my place for a chat the other day. She's always having trouble with her little ones, and it's making her miserable. She told me about it a while back, and now she's brought it up again. And she mentioned she was looking for some muscle from out of town. It surprised me, that's why I remember it. You're an outsider, and you look like you can handle yourself. Perhaps you can drop by. She'll be glad, and so will I. I don't know what else there is to tell.
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
I'll give him a bit longer before I take him to the back. I don't want to wait for him.
I was taking care of some business with Hannah at the stud farm when I heard you needed someone with a stout heart and a strong arm.
Well, that's true, yes. Have you come to help me?
I can't say yes until I know what's going on. Tell me, and I'll see if there's anything I can do to help.
All right. Thank you. So listen. There's a powerful protective charm I desperately need. A Thunderstone. It's a great rarity. But Tomlin Bruthans from Horshan has one. He just won't let me have it. The thing is, he sometimes wages it in fights.
I think I understand now. But what about your husband? Couldn't he take care of it?
He tried, of course. As soon as I heard Tomlin had one, I sent Stamir over there right away. But the poor wretch came back black and blue.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you want me to fight Tomlin and win the stone for you?
Well, yeah. And I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm really desperate. And I have no one else to turn to. I prayed fervently to the Virgin Mary and implored her for help. And now you've shown up. Besides, you're a born warrior by the looks of you. Twice as tough as those guards at the ironworks, who do nothing but swill Grosh's beer all day. Some landowner's coddled son is no match for you, I'll wager.
Why are you so desperate for this piece of rock?
That's my business.
Look, if I'm to help you, I need to know what you're going to do with this stone. I don't want to get caught up in any witchcraft.
This is no witchcraft. It's just... Fine. Listen, I'm afraid for my child. And myself. All my babies died shortly after birth. Bless their souls. And birthing is very hard for me. I nearly died last time. The stone has the power to help me and protect my next infant. That's why I want it.
All right. I'll help with your trouble.
Mary, Mother of Mercy, thanks be to the both of you. This means so much to me.
Save your thanks for when I bring it to you.
I shall. Don't you worry about that. We've got some groschen put by, so you'll be handsomely rewarded. I'm also on good terms with Hannah, so I could put a word in for you at the stud farm. She'll give a generous discount if you want to buy a horse from her. And I'll pray and intercede for you, I swear.
All right, you have yourself a deal. I'll go to Horshan and take on that Tomlin fellow.
God bless you. The Broodhands have a big farm. There's a wayside shrine in front of the gate and an orchard out the back. That's where you should find him. But be careful, and don't underestimate him. The stone has great power, and it won't be easy. See you later, my friend.
My respect.
Good day.
Greetings.
Greetings. Do you need something?
Hey, Tomlin. People around here tell me you have a Thunderstone.
People say all sorts of things.
They also say if I beat you in a fight, it's mine.
Those days are over. There was a time I'd put it up for grabs in fights with cocky fools. That much is true. I even had a couple of craftsmen come from the burg to try their luck. But everyone got a thrashing. Well, then I decided to retire. It didn't seem right, and my conscience was getting the better of me. Well, as for you, you've cut the locals down to size. Impressive work. So there's nothing here for you now. But if those fists of yours are still itching, you could try your luck over in Miskovitz. Blood runs hot in those lads, so you'll fit right in like a thumb up an arse. And if you're as stupid as you are brave, there's a shit pit in the burg they call the Hole. They're hard as nails there. Beat the shit out of each other with iron gloves. Fucked up if you ask me. But each to his own.
Look, that's all very well, but it's you I'm here to fight. For the Thunderstone.
Fuck's sake. You're a bleeding half-wit, aren't ya? Let's try again. I'm not fighting for the stone anymore. I found it. It's mine. I'm keeping it.
I want to see the stone first.
You what? Don't you believe me? Everyone here knows I have it.
Well, exactly. Everybody knows you have it, so why not show it to me? Besides, I've never seen a magic Thunderstone, and here's my chance. I may never have another.
All right. Have it your way, then. Here it is. Almost as smooth as glass, and pointed at the end. It fits into your hand just right.
Wait. Is this really it?
Of course.
I don't think it is.
Well, I think you know fuck all about it, and you wouldn't recognise a Thunderstone if it dropped out of the sky onto your head.
Oh no, wait. I read something about that. How was it? A Thunderstone, otherwise known as Fulgur Conditum, is an earthly mass struck by lightning, which then conceals itself within. This stone lies buried deep under the earth, before ascending to the surface after 7 days. A round hole is punched in the stone itself by the thunderbolt. But your stone has no hole.
Oh, you're a scholar, are ya?
Well, I learned enough to spot when someone tries to hoodwink me with a rock they picked up in a creek.
I didn't mean to deceive ya.
Stop fucking me around. I need to find the Thunderstone. Do you have it or not?
I don't have it now. I really did find a Thunderstone. And I had it right up until the other day when it was stolen. I didn't want word to get out because I'd look like a right fool. So I acted like nothing happened. I'm sorry for leading you on. I didn't mean any harm.
And do you have any idea who might have stolen it from you?
If you ask me, it was that Hansel from Rabosh and his little mate Peter. They were ever so curious about it right before it disappeared.
All right. I'll have a look for them.
Well, when you get to Rabosh, take the main road away from the fortress until you reach the first farm on the right. There are hired hands there. That much I found out. If you find the stone, please bring it back to me. I'll make sure you're well rewarded. You have my word. I was the one who found it, so by rights, it's mine. It was destined for me. To mess with fate would only bring bad luck and misfortune.
Good day. What would you like?
I need to find a Thunderstone, and I heard you might know of one.
Oh, yeah? Who told you that, then?
Tomlin over Horsham Way told me you pinched his Thunderstone. You and some Hensel fellow. So you better come clean, before I let Tomlin beat the truth out of you.
Fuck me! So Bruthan's made you his lackey? As if that stone hasn't caused enough trouble already.
Watch your tongue. I'm no one's lackey. And you, go on. What happened with the stone?
We fucked up. And all because of that stupid stone. I wish we'd never taken it.
So Tomlin was right. It was you. Where's the stone now?
I haven't the faintest. It was all Hensel's idea and he had it on him the whole time. And before you ask, no, Hensel's not here. Andrew is holding him captive.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm missing something here, and it's not just the stone. So tell me, what the fuck happened?
We wanted to butcher Andrew Ramhead's band of pillagers, but that's easier said than done. So Hensel got the idea that we could borrow Tomlin Bruthan's magic stone from him to help us fight them like, but Tomlin wasn't having it, so we filched it without him knowing, and then set off after those bandits. But everything went to shit. They caught Hensel and almost killed me and Stislav. So, you come a bit late for that fucking stone. Not that it brought us any luck anyway. If I were you, I'd give it up as a lost cause.
Where can I find this, Andrew?
Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm sorry about what happened to you, but I badly need to find that stone. You don't just lose something like that. And from what you said, it seems I don't have much choice.
I'm telling you, that stone's cursed. Weren't you listening to me?
You may have had bad luck, but that doesn't mean it's cursed. With stuff like that, you're playing with fire. You stole it from Tomlin, so the power of the stone turned against you. I didn't steal it from anybody, so I have nothing to worry about.
Well, if you put it like that, that never occurred to me.
You see? Now tell me where this camp of theirs is.
You'll come across some ponds between Raborj and Bohunjovic. Near one of them, there's a fork where wayfarers sometimes camp if they're stuck for a place to stay. From that fork, follow the water downstream, and you should find the ruins of an old mill.
And that's where they're holding Hensel? The one with the stone?
Yeah, there. But if I were you, I'd stay off the path. Take the hill and nip through the woods. You'll get to some rocks overlooking the mill. You'll have a bird's eye view of everything from there. That's the way we went too. But make sure they don't spot you. There's a good chance they've upped their guard after our attack.
Sound advice. Thanks.
Look, what's your plan anyway?
Well, I'm thinking if I can find Andrew, I'll find Hensel. And then I'll finally get to the bottom of this shit with the Thunderstone.
Just be careful, because Andrew's a cunning fucker. Look, since you're going there anyway, I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything, but still, do you think you could rescue Hensel?
Why doesn't the local lord do it?
'Cause he doesn't give a shit, for Christ's sake. He cares nothing for the likes of us, understand? Hensel's just a stable boy who toils with his hands. No lord's going to do a deal with Andrew for him.
And how, pray, do you expect me to do that?
I don't know, just something. 'Cause if you don't, I don't know who will. Andrew's a greedy bastard. Some coin might do it. Or you could sneak in quietly and slip back out with Hensel.
How about I just kill them all?
I thought best not to suggest that. You know how we ended up. But, you know, whatever you think's best. It's just, they're pretty tough and well-armed, you know.
I'll manage somehow. But the whole thing's getting so messy, it's almost like the stone's power is interfering somehow. But if I find a way, I'll help Hensel.
Thank you so much! May all the saints be with you, and I hope you have better luck than we did.
Easy, good horse.
Quick! Go! Go!
Whoa!
Heel. Sit and stay.
I heard something. Huh? I must be mad. Huh? Strange.
Did I imagine it?
Hey! By all the saints, don't leave me here! Please, untie me! I beg you, don't leave me here! Christ almighty! You stormed in on them like you were the Archangel Michael himself. Thanks for getting me out of here.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I am. All things considered. Thanks for rescuing me. You have no idea how grateful I am. God knows what they would have done to me in the end. All that aside, who are you, anyway?
Henry.
I'm Hensel, and I owe you big time, Henry. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure why I was worth all that trouble. But grateful nonetheless.
Peter told me what happened.
Peter? Well, thank the saints for him. So he's safe and sound, is he?
In a manner of speaking. He got shot, but nothing serious.
What about Stislav?
I have no idea.
Ah, well, I hope he's all right and all.
Listen, it wasn't exactly by chance that I ran into Peter either. I was looking for you in the village because of the Thunderstone you stole from Tomlin in Horsham, who, by the way, is royally fucking upset with you.
Well, I suppose I would be too if I were him. But I have to say, the whole Thunderstone idea was the stupidest I've ever had. It brought us no luck, no protection. Well, the opposite, in fact.
Let's forget that for a moment. What I really need to know is where the stone ended up.
You won't be surprised to hear. Ramed snatched it from me when I was captured. He didn't believe it had any powers, but he has a nose for money. That's all that matters to him. From what I heard, he sold it in Sukdal to some farmer's wife, I think he said, Mlada or something. Well, from the edge of the village.
Sakra. That stone really is cursed. Well, there's nothing for it. I'm off to Sukdal.
Hold your horses. That wasn't the only thing I heard. There's this pond below Raborsh, right? And on the bank, across from the village, there's a small crag. Somewhere around there, they hid some of their spoils.
Well, they hid it all right, but not well enough.
What? You filched Andrew's stash? Well, good for you. Serves the bastard right. I was going to cast an eye there myself, but I see there's no need to bother now. Well, thanks again for everything, and God be with you wherever you may go.
Die! Quick!
See the criminal! A miscreant!
Whoa!
morning.
I heard you bought a Thunderstone from Andrew Ramhead. Is that so?
Well, it is. What's it to you?
Andrew Ramhead took it from Hensel from Raborsh, who in turn stole it from Tomlin Brookhans down Horshan way.
And? I don't know those people. Even if it's true, I knew nothing about it. I bought the stone fair and square, and for good money. My husband's gravely ill and nothing's helping. The stone is to heal him.
And what ails your husband?
Peter went to lie down one afternoon and he hasn't budged since. He's not eating, and he's barely talking to anyone. What's worse, soon after he took ill, a Minerva owl perched on the roof one evening.
I understand.
That's why I need the stone. If it weren't for the stone, I'm sure Peter would be gone by now.
So am I to understand that if your husband heals, you won't need the stone?
Well, a stone like this is a precious thing. It can still protect us from all manner of misfortune.
But you bought it to save your husband.
That may be, but I'll not be wanting to lose that stone.
How about this? I'll try to help your husband, and if I succeed, you'll gift me the stone.
Why would I do that? The stone is bound to help him.
What if the power of the stone brought me here to help your husband?
I hadn't thought of it like that.
So, how about we make a deal?
All right, but only if you help him.
Of course. I'll take a look at him and see what I can do.
And please hurry. With that owl and everything, I'm quite sure the Reaper's nearby. You'll find Peter in his room.
All right. I'll take a look at him and see if there's anything I can do. It's usually a good idea to speak to others who are close to the sufferer. That may be able to explain a few things, especially if the patient himself isn't very communicative.
Aha. I see you really have done this before. I'm starting to believe that stone really did draw you here. So, ask around on the farm if you need to. We'll all be at your service.
Perfect. I'll get on with it. And I'd better check the whole room, just in case.
Do whatever it takes to help Peter.
Can you think of something that might help me heal it? Anything?
I can't. I'm desperate myself. I've tried just about everything. Peter is just an ordinary cooper. We've lived here for years. We go to church. My husband doesn't travel outside the village often. This last time he had some business in Pechgau, near Golin, but he came back empty-handed. Breathless and confused. He was fumbling around here for a few days, not doing his job, just spending time in his workshop. Lord knows what he was doing in there. Then he went to bed, and since then, he's just been lying there. He doesn't eat. Not even the potions are helping. He doesn't sleep a wink at night. At least, I don't think he does. If I stopped sleeping too, our homestead would fall apart.
I'll ask him why he can't sleep. What's tormenting him?
Try that. He won't speak to me about anything. It's as if he was keeping secrets from me. Or maybe just protecting me from something. Greetings, sir.
Peter, my name is Henry. I'm here to help you.
Another poor bloke that's to deal with me. As if Marder didn't have enough on her plate already.
I'll try to figure out what's wrong with you. I'll examine you. Just by eye. Pale skin. Dark circles under the eyes. A downcast expression on the face. I don't see any bruises. A few calluses and cuts on the hands. Nothing unusual for a craftsman after a hard day in the workshop.
I told you. I'm not in any pain. Just let me lie here.
Irritability. No foul odour. Bodily humours aren't leaking. And you aren't bleeding.
But I will, when Sigismund's horde gets here.
Why would Sigismund attack Suchtal?
He does as he pleases. You have no idea how many villages he's plundered already.
I reckon attacking a village protected by a fortress is the last thing Sigismund would want to do now.
The fortress is what's bothering him. That's why he'll destroy it. And us with it.
I don't know about that. Don't be alarmed. I need to take a closer look. Let's see. No swelling. No cancer on the skin. Does this hurt?
Nothing hurts.
Your palms are cold. Your muscles are tense. And your heart's pounding so hard you could hear it all the way to Prague. You seem like you're ready to fight. Or flee.
They're getting close now.
Who is?
The soldiers. Sigismund's men.
Well, physically, you seem fine, Peter. It's strange.
I'm a weakling. A weakling.
What are your nights like? Mlada said you don't sleep much.
I just stare at the wall. I try to sleep during the day, but it's not much better.
Well, it's certainly no fever or pain that's ailing you. I assume it's dark thoughts that keep you up at night.
I can't fall asleep. Because of all the noblemen who keep coming to Lord Pisek's fortress, I'm always hearing hoofbeats. And they startle me.
So Lord Pisek likes to host nobles at his fortress? What's so unusual about that?
And what do you think they're doing here, eh? Preparing for war. That's what.
If Lord Pisek was about to go to war, he'd be gathering a lot more men here than a couple of nobles.
Folk ought to be scared to leave the village. Mezoles is gone. And when I saw Obatovitz, Suchdol is next. I'm sure of it.
What am I going to do with you, Peter? There's nothing wrong with you physically, so it must be an ailment of the soul. The chamomile decoctions will help calm your mind, but you'll have to change your diet as well, so you don't just drink potions. And last but not least, some words of encouragement wouldn't be amiss. You'll be back on your feet in no time. I'll get things ready and be back soon. Peter, let's talk about how we can help you. I have some suggestions for treatment.
I'm listening.
You should drink the chamomile decoction.
Great. Another potion.
This one will help you sleep. Once your body gets used to sleeping at night and staying awake during the day, you'll feel much better. You'll see. Proper sleep will chase away the gloom. And if restlessness tries to take hold of you again, your body will have the strength to fight it. Every morning you'll be stronger and stronger until you're able to work again.
We'll see about that.
You need to start eating again, even if you don't have an appetite. First, ask Mlada to get you some honey and add it to your gruel.
You think some honey is gonna save me?
It'll give you stamina without irritating your stomach, first of all. But you have to admit Mother Nature has it well thought out. Where bloodwort helps with bleeding and feverfew with fevers, honey coats your humours so that they can't get out of balance so easily. Any melancholia wanting to take hold of you would have to make its way through thick honey, so it could hardly get from your stomach to your head. And soon you'll be as busy as a bee again, and getting on swimmingly. Which brings me to my next piece of advice. Start eating fish more regularly. Some nice fatty ones, ideally. Fat in the belly will surely stop gloom from getting through. Same as with the honey.
I suppose that makes sense.
Listen, Peter. I know you're worried about the army that's passing through the country. I'm not much of a speaker, but let me tell you something from the heart. If you're scared of Sigismund's soldiers, trust me when I tell you, when it comes down to it, it ends up being a one-on-one fight. And you'd be surprised how much strength and courage you can find when you're backed into a corner. So don't run from your fear. Laugh in its face instead.
I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about Mlada.
Then keep reminding yourself of that. Look at me, a blacksmith's son. Why do you think I am who I am now? Because I decided I'll never turn my back on my loved ones again.
You're right. I mustn't leave Mlada to fend for herself.
Don't run from the fight. Especially the one going on inside your head. I didn't want to leave anything to chance, so I cast a spell here.
What kind of spell?
I buried protective relics here on your property.
Where did you bury them?
I can't tell you that, naturally. If I told you, they'd lose their protective powers.
And what did you bury?
A battle axe. It belonged to a warrior who fought at Nicopolis. He's a priest now. He fought with Sigismund there.
One of Sigismund's soldiers? Then you've cursed us, not protected us.
On the contrary, the axe knows Sigismund's tactical weaknesses. That's why I chose it. I also added a monk's bone.
What monk?
One from Sassau. He performed great miracles there, helping refugees from the war and aiding the construction of the monastery. It's no chicken bone from a charlatan. And finally, I buried some eggs.
Eggs?
Seeds of life. If the army really does attack, these 3 things will protect you. They will weaken the soldiers, help you escape, and when you return to the village after the siege, life will blossom here again.
I thank you very much.
A bit of prayer won't hurt. Lord, have mercy on Peter here, and lift from him the weight of his affliction. For you have laid upon him this affliction to try him. And you see that Peter, O Lord, endures your trial patiently and without contradiction. Unless you, O Lord, relieve Peter of his illness, no physician in the world can. I beg of you, O Lord, heal his soul and let his body once again find its lost balance. Amen.
Amen.
Well then, I've done everything I can. Things will get better, Peter. You'll see. Anyway, I'll come back to see you in a few days.
A fox got in our head.
Greetings. What do you need?
That's the way it's done.
Can I spend the night here? I'll pay you well if you let me spend the night here every now and then.
But all I have is an old straw mattress, sir.
That's enough for me, and I'll pay you well. Let's agree on a price.
What can you do?
Satisfied?
You'll have to make a better offer for this. Thank you, and a good night to you, sir.
About this fella who always got heartburn just before it
What can you do? And hey, all we need is, as usual, getting up when it's going to be sunny and walking like 3 wise men.
3 cripples.
A large beer for me.
I'm a bit cocky.
At your service.
You have a kind master, eh?
How is Peter doing?
Henry, you won't believe it. It worked. Peter got up in the morning. You could see that he was struggling, but then something in him snapped into place and he just went to work. I can tell he's still fighting something inside his head. He'll stop for a moment, take a deep breath, then continue working. I reckon he wants to discuss something with the others in the village, but I don't know if he has the strength for it now. But regardless, it went away as quickly as it came. I can't thank you enough.
Just keep giving him hope, so that he doesn't fall back into gloom.
I will. You can count on it.
I'm glad I could help. But don't forget our deal. The Thunderstone is mine now.
But the stone helped Peter. We need it, and I'll never be able to afford another one. It'll protect our homestead. And what if Peter's illness returns? Then I'll need the stone again.
The stone has great power, but it's used up all the strength it had for you. Now it's time for it to help others.
You're right. Here, it's rightfully yours. It's hard to give it up, knowing how much I spent on it. That's why I can't give you anything else as a reward right now. But believe me, I'll spread the word of how you helped us around the village.
Thank you. That's good enough for me.
Greetings, sir.
Hey, Tomlin. I ran into that Hensel from Raborsh, and he told me that he stole your Thunderstone.
That fucking thief. I knew it was him. So, did you get my stone from the prick?
No. Bandit snatched it from him, and it ended up with some ladder down Suchdol way.
Ah, fuck shit. I can't believe it. Look, Henry, I'm sorry I lied to you about the stone. I just didn't want word to get out it had been stolen. I'd be a laughing stock.
Yeah, I get it. I don't blame you.
I'm glad to hear that. But speaking of the stone, it's still rightfully mine. It was me who found it. It's what the heavens wanted. If you get your hands on it, you'll give it back, won't you? I'll make it worth your while. You can be sure of that.
All right, I'll think about it. Assuming, of course, I find the stone in the first place. I found that Thunderstone.
Really? That's bloody brilliant. I thought I'd lost it for good, to be honest. But it seems to have found its way back to me after all. Which just goes to show I was meant to have it.
Well, perhaps there's some truth in that. Here you go.
Hey, thank you so much. I won't forget this. And I promise to reward you. I can give you some of the coin I put aside from my fights. Or I can show you some wrestling feints and holds if you want. It might come in handy sometime.
Wrestling moves, you say? I'm all ears.
Well, listen carefully then. And be ready to take it all in. That's it. I hope you got it. Just remember, once you engage, you can't stop attacking as long as he's on his feet. Give him a moment to get his bearings, and you're asking for trouble. Take that to heart. And thanks again for returning the stone. You did the right thing. God be with you, Henry.
dark.
I found the Thunderstone.
Really? Oh, God bless you, Henry. Without the stone, I don't know what I would do. Or what else could help me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now. Take the stone. I hope it helps you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. This stone will make giving birth easier and save my baby's life.
Glad to have been of service.
I'll get Hannah to give you a lower price at the stud farm, as I promised. And you know what? I'll share a piece of wisdom my grandmother taught me. She said you need to brew nightshade with twice as much mugwort and a good splash of brandy. That's how to fix a concoction that'll clean you out at both ends and cure all sorts of ills. She used it on me after I gave birth and said it saved my life. So it could come in handy for you too sometime.
Thanks. That sounds, let's not say dangerous exactly, but definitely fascinating. I'll just make a quick note so I don't forget. I'm not sure I'll ever muster the courage to try it, though.
Think nothing of it. And if you want, stop by and talk to my husband, Demir. He's a very skilled man. And since you've been so helpful, if you like, perhaps he'll let you in on some of his blacksmithing secrets. Oh, and I also have some money put aside for emergencies, so you can have that. It's not much, but it's all I can give you.
Thanks. Never hurts to have a bit of coin.
Think nothing of it. It's the least I could do to repay you.
Go! Ka! Ka!
Whoa! Whoa!
God, looks like a bloody...
What can I do for you?
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
One can never know enough about blacksmithing.
All right, then. But it'll take a while.
Oh, you pooch.